Folks, a couple days ago, I put out a video of Through the Vote in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department in Arizona are putting up surveillance equipment and are going to have live stream feeds so the people can actually actively watch the drop boxes in places like Maricopa County in these big cities where the drop boxes are, and the shenanigans always seem to happen, especially like Maricopa County and surrounding areas, like I said. But at any rate, we need to do this nationwide. They're looking into that as well, so that's definitely an awesome direction to go with this having total transparency when it comes to the drop boxes. That would make a huge difference in a lot of people's idea of the way things should be handled. If we can at least see that people are only putting in one ballot in a box, it may not look so bad. But when you're coming in, you're stuffing 18 dozen in a box at a time, those people probably going to get handled up on. And if you haven't heard, Trump has put out a cease and desist order in the last couple of days involving anybody that cheats in elections 2020 or 2024. You will be held accountable. Now, over the last 24 hours, a guy named Vlad from One Nation Under God, you may know the channel. I know Vlad pretty well. He's a good friend of mine. But he's put out a video that has got about 3 million views over here on Twitter. But he shared it as well. And what it is he went in Arizona to one of the DMV motor vehicle places to get your driver's license and realized there is a voting booth outside for illegals. So he went up and confronted the people. And I started thinking about that. I'm going to do it here. I'm going to go to all the local DMVs. There's 3 or 4 within driving distance of me here in Central Texas here. And I'm going to do the same just to make sure that they don't have these voting booths sitting outside the DMV. Because in reality, if you're a citizen, you're going in the driver's license place to get your license, get your ID, or renew either or. They offer you the option to register to vote while you're there in their little packet of paperwork that you have no choice but to fill out. So there is no need for an extra voter booth outside for those that now have an ID but don't actually want to lie on the government document inside the building. So we know what's going on there. There's actually been a couple of stories out about this over the last couple of weeks, and I'm glad to see it's getting exposed through citizen journalists like Vlad. Great job, buddy. But when I made this video the other day about Through the Vote, I started thinking Cash Patel had said something more than once that just sticks out in my head. When the government is crooked from the top down, one of our last line of defense to secure our streets, secure our elections, to rein in local crooked politicians is our local sheriff's departments. The sheriff's departments in your county, in your city, in your state are the ones that actually can arrest criminals for anything that falls within the lines of criminality. That includes election issues. That includes arming yourself if you're dealing with the influx of the migrants pushing their way into your home and different things like that. In North Carolina, sheriff over there decided that he is calling for the people to create like a Minutemen service, a militia, to come together and be able to protect the citizens because they are literally in a bad situation over there due to the migrant influx of just so many people pouring in. People don't feel safe anymore. The crime has gone up. So many shenanigans are going on in every state, but this North Carolina sheriff decides that he's calling on the folks to help. If the federal government is not going to police the situation, I'm calling on the citizens of my county to stand up and show up and be willing to let us know if you're willing to be a part of the solution and not the problem. I love it, folks. I got a couple more little video clips besides that one. Want to bring y'all, including the last one of the day. I'll bow out at the end of close to the end of that one. It makes me cry every time. Just proud of my son. Last video was of my son just describing some of his experiences in life that everybody should hear at least once. But we'll go ahead and get back into the politics here for just a second. This is definitely a crazy video. Here we go.
Our God-given rights. And it says when government becomes destructive to these ends, meaning when they go above and beyond trying to secure our liberties and trying to take them, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish that government, either by voting or ultimately, God forbid, to use our Second Amendment rights to protect ourselves from tyranny. And I'm just asking all of y'all to unanimously join our sister counties of Wilkes, Surrey, Stokes, Lincoln, and Cherokee and get on board with this thing and publicly demonstrate to us that you're willing to uphold and honor the same oath I took when I put my hand on God's word and held my other hand up to him and swore that I'd give my life to defend that Constitution. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but regardless of what y'all do or don't do, I'm not going to enforce an unconstitutional law. I'm going to
getting serious, folks. We are literally having to gonna have to mobilize, not just to get out the vote, but to be able to have, I guess, community outreach, maybe with your neighbors, just to find out, are y'all willing to stand together if the Venezuelans come down your block? That's what we're getting to, folks. There's been so many crazy stories out the last couple of days. Cats and ducks are not safe anymore. Um, Maybe not even small children at this point. Uh, there is some stories about cannibalism in Haiti. I don't know if that's YouTube friendly or not, but the stories are really out there. So I would be watching your pets closely and your children closely for several reasons. You know what I'm talking about, folks. But at any rate, I got a couple of video clips I wanted to bring to y'all today. A couple short clips here.
6 debate stuff, whereas she has closely studied the former president's past 6 debate performances. She's also been sort of entrenched in these briefing papers going over the former president's past comments, as well as the ways that he has insulted her, so she can be prepared to respond to that. She's engaged in these mock debates with a stand-in for the former president, and she's had conversations with Hillary Clinton and President Biden, who both extensively have knowledge of debating the former president. She has closely studied the former president's past 6 debate.
This is like the football game of her life, folks. This is debate prep 101 for Kamala Harris. She's got to learn how to debate. She's got to learn how to defend herself against Kamala or against Trump. And everybody she's going to for debate prep help, they've all been destroyed by Trump on the debate stage. Like CNN said yesterday, there's nobody better out there as a debater than Trump. It's just a fact, folks. Even the Democrats recognize that Trump is the master debater when it comes to destroying the rhinos in the lineup when this whole primary season started, and destroyed Joe Biden not long ago. Sure, Kamala's sweating bullets today. She's even got people willing to talk shit to her, like Trump would, just to make sure she's not going to get rattled when he does rattle her cage, when he does talk a little shit by throwing truth bombs at her like hand grenades. I love it, folks. I like to see CNN tell the truth occasionally about what's really going on with the panicked Harris campaign. All right, folks, I had one more video clip here, 2 more video clips here I wanted to bring to y'all today. Please stick around to the end. The last one is of my son, like I said, just something he was going through in life. A lot of us have been through, myself as well. And I just think it was awesome that he wanted to share that with everybody. All right, now, if you haven't seen this came out a couple of days ago. This was Tucker Carlson, Vivek Ramaswamy, and RFK Jr., all 3 on stage together. It was a Tucker Carlson event. He is now holding basically like rally type events of his own. Tulsi Gabbard, several people will be at these events. You actually can go to Tucker Carlson Network and pay to go see these events because he's actually touring in I think about 30 states between now and Election Day. Just the fact, meaning he'll have more conservative voices around him to discuss the future of the election, and he'll be able to draw crowds of conservatives and people that are willing to listen to what's really going on, the truth in the political atmosphere we're living in. Because these 3 guys right here, about as honest as you get, as far as I'm concerned. You want to know what's going on in politics? These guys know. All right, folks, we'll play this video, and then we'll get to the last.
I saw Kamala, at the convention, and she gave a speech that was very bellicose and belligerent. It was a kind of speech that was written by neocons and the CIA. The first time in history, they had a CIA former director speaking right before her, Leon Panetta. They had military people speaking at the Democratic convention. Democrats were the anti-war party. They were the pro-Constitution party. They were the party that was against Wall Street and representing the little guys, the cops, the firefighters, union and labor people. In the 2020 election, roughly 50% of the people in this country voted for Donald Trump. But that group that voted for Donald Trump represented 30% of the wealth in our country. The 50% of the people that voted for Joe Biden represented 70% of the wealth. There's been an inversion now where the Republican Party has become the party of the common man, of working people, of the middle class.
That's right.
And the Democratic Party has become the party of Wall Street, of the military-industrial complex, of big pharma, big agriculture, big tech, the big banking systems, and all of what Donald Trump calls the deep state, which is this web of financial interests that is not necessarily a little conspiracy, but it's a conspiracy of self-interest. that functions together in tandem to shift wealth upward, to clamp down totalitarian controls, and to transform this country from the world's exemplary democracy into a corporate kleptocracy and a very, very oppressive oligarchical system, the kind of system that we fought a revolution to overthrow in 1776.
That's right.
Wow. Bless you for saying that.
I agree with that 100%. There's no doubt about it. There is a huge problem with the deep state, and with along with all of Trump's veiled threats and many promises that he has made in the last several months, like closing the border, deporting the illegals, fixing the crime, prosecuting election crooks, cleaning up our government, having Elon Musk come in and be part of the Doji Committee, uh, Government Efficiency Committee, Department of Government Efficiency. Kind of cool. He's going to use the name Doji for this new committee. But at any rate, we're going to trim the fat, and that includes getting rid of a lot of the weaponized departments of government, or at least cleaning them out. I'm talking about the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ, the ones that actually, the intel agencies that have been weaponized against the American people and Trump. They're all going to pay, and I see it coming. And I'm just glad to see that all three of these guys are on Team Trump, on Team America. It's a great thing when you got Democrats coming over to the Republican Party because they know the future of America depends on it. I love it. I love it, folks. Now, this last video clip here is of my son. I'll jump out of here. Let's let y'all watch this one for yourself. It's a little windy and it's a little noisy, but at any rate, it's definitely worth listening to. My son, folks. My oldest son, folks.
Things I want to talk about. Alright, so first thing I want to say is hello. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully good. My name is Seth Fox. A few things I want to talk about today. I'm 29 years old, and I am a recovered drug addict who struggled with addiction for 10 years, from the time I was 17 to the time I was 27. I lived in the streets, in tents, in the woods. I lived on people's couches, stayed here and there. I lived a lot of places that were very uncomfortable. I didn't eat a lot because I just did not have an appetite, or could never really find time to eat because my mind was always going faster than I could keep up with. I was in a bad relationship with someone who I always fought with over really stupid stuff. And now that I think about it all, I'm going to read y'all something. I am very blessed today that I do not live that lifestyle anymore. With that being said, I am most thankful for my wife, Tiffany.
Hey guys.
I met her while I was on drugs, though she was in a horrible relationship with someone who was also using. She also was searching for a positive change in her life, just as I was. We both had that same fire burning inside us, that next step in changing our lives for the better. After getting to know her, I seen how big her heart was and how much love she had and where she stood. We both had a mutual understanding on a lot of things. I realized this is the woman that I wanted to be with, who I wanted to change for. So together we made that change. I quit on the spot. We both worked together at the same job. This right here gave me the motivation to keep going. It also helped me keep my mind busy and not think too much about the drugs. Very helpful to have something to distract you from the drug life. I am now 2.5 years sober, and I know that I have fully recovered. Together we have 3 beautiful children and are currently engaged, but we have not set a big date yet. I now have a nice place to live with reliable transportation to and from my job. Something I never had in my 10 years of addiction. I want to give a big thank you to all of the people who inspire me to stay sober. Here's a list of names of people who inspired me and still do. Her name is Dimples, and she's actually someone I inspired to get off the drugs, and I didn't know that until she told me, and that made me feel really good inside. But the people who inspire me today is Joshua Morris, Haley Morris, Shannon Fox, my father, Kelly Fox, my mother, my grandmother and grandfather, James Smith and Victoria Smith, Bunny Hop, Karen Hansen, Johnny French, John Arnold or Hodad, Kathy Walls, Shannon Casper, Troy Kell, and Otis Mask, my brother. Also my Uncle James Wood and Patricia Isaacs. I tell myself I know for a fact that if they can do it, so can I. I pray that one day this video will inspire someone else to make that change in bettering their life. I'll tell you what, it's totally worth it. And I want to tell everyone I'm making this video because I'm proud, very proud of the man that I have become today. Thank you. I will now show you some before and after photos. Now here's some photos of me today. All I got left to say today is thank y'all all for watching, and I hope one day inspires somebody to change their lives for the better. It's well worth it. Thank you.